Oh, where are we? Hold up. Gonna mess it up straight away. Here we are. Hey, hello, Cieran. How you doing, mate?
G'day, mate. Oh, good, all good, all good. How are you?
I'm all right. As you can tell, I'm not quite used to this yet, but I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. So I'll just acknowledge that we've got some people in the chat. Stewie's been there since 9:45.
Hey, Stewie.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well. We're all good, thanks, Stu. Nice for you to join us, mate. Mr. Singleton's in the house. Good evening, Robert. Yeah. Mr. Bong, good evening, James.
Jamesy.
Yeah, wow. And do it again. Right, so, well, I'm pretty sure we'll have a few more on in just a few minutes. Well, it's been a while since we've seen each other, isn't it, mate? So we've got a fair bit to talk about, you know. We haven't really spoken since the departure of our number 41 and the new season started. So plenty of stuff to chat about. How have you been, mate? All right?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, we've had a positive start of the season, haven't we? So no one's complaining.
No complaints.
I put my Moyes out banner on the back burner.
Moyes out temporarily suspended.
Yeah. For the moment he's in, but just lose one game, you're out again. Mate, the recruitment's been really good, and I'm always been a great believer. You live and die by your recruitment. And we knew we were losing Rice, and I weren't that bothered about losing Rice, to be honest, because it was always coming, you know. So I weren't that fussed, but I was fussed about who we brought in, and that was going to be the crucial part of our progression. And you know, the best signing I think we've made was Tim Steiner. And I remember being on with Stewie with the disabled team and saying to him then that this could be the most important signing we made. And it's the first time I've seen West Ham look to the future with something like this. And everything about that guy I read about him was, this is looking to the future. And I thought it was a great acquisition for West Ham. And it seems to prove to be so. Now, instead of, we bring in 5 signings and 3 of them are crap. Every signing we've made so far seems to be, touch wood, working out. And and when you've got people saying, well, we even look better without Rice, it is a testament to them signing, because Ward-Prowse and Alvarez have made a massive difference to us there. We needed it. Plus, not only that, we've released Souček back to the 2020 Souček, and I think sort of suffered under Declan Rice last year. And he's coming good. He's having a great start to the season, and so is Soufal. I think he's been good. Yeah. So all in all, we've done really well. And
some of our previous signings have really started to kick on now, haven't they? Like obviously Lucas Paqueta, he's proven to be an absolutely brilliant signing. And I think also Emerson has proven to be very good.
Absolutely.
I really like him. He's one of my favourite players in the club.
I know you did, but because I was very 50-50 on him when we signed him. I went, and I know you were a bit of a fan. You knew a bit more about him, with your brother being a Chelsea fan, and I weren't that keen. But and at the beginning, he was looking exactly what I thought we'd bought, very average. But since I think old Paquetá has come into his own, them two linking up on that left as well, man. I mean, wow. Now he's looking like the player you were talking about. So, I'm starting to be really impressed with him. So he's becoming a good buy. Not an outstanding left back or anything, but he's been really effective for us, and I think he's been great.
I think he's been everything that we wanted out of Masuaku.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly that. Masuaku had that going forward, didn't he?
Yeah,
but didn't probably show it off enough. Now and again, he was that good, Masuaku. But defensively, he was poor. I think, we got a better deal with Emerson, right? And he's a bit more consistent.
I believe so too. Good evening, Sharky. Thank you for joining
us. Good day, Sharky.
And also Keith Knight. Oi, oi, you handsome bastard.
Keith. I don't know. I mean, that is bollocks, Keith. You know what I mean? The handsome bit.
And
well,
yes, indeed. Yeah, yes, indeed. Stuart saying Areola is a fantastic keeper.
Yeah, Areola's been given his shot now, hasn't he? And he's doing well. He's doing well.
He's been fantastic. I mean, I've been very, very happy with our acquisitions, and it looks like Mo Kudos is going to be electric, or better,
I can understand why we're not starting him at the moment, but my God, he looks exciting every time he comes on the pitch, doesn't he?
He does.
He really does, mate.
Yeah.
And even Ward-Prowse for me, I thought was a good buy. Don't get me wrong, but I thought he's exceeded my expectations too. I mean, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think you're right. And and what little we've seen of Dinos Mavropanos, he's been
hard to judge.
He looks like he's going to be a useful player.
He does.
We've got our friend teacher Zanek in the house. Thank you for joining us, Zanek. Nice to see you, buddy. And Mr. Vassallo, Lee.
Lee, long time no see, sir.
Yeah. He says hi, Budgie and my old mate Cieran. And fellow Hammers in the chat. Hope you're all having a great week. Come on, you irons. We are massive overland in sea. Indeed, we are. In fact,
I can't see when Lee's in the chat. I can't get too negative about West Ham because he slaughters me. He's the most optimistic guy I've ever listened to on a chat. But if I start slagging boys off too much, Lee, pull me in line.
Duke's in the house. Good evening.
Yeah, Jokey.
Thank you for joining us. Boys are back, he says. And Janek says, good to see you active on your channel again, Clive. Yeah, well, it's been a while, and it's been no secret that when we lost our friend Peach, it had a massive effect on me, and I just didn't have the confidence to come on screen and offer myself up for criticism. I just didn't fancy doing it. Now I don't give a toss, So, hello, look who's in the house.
Happy H.
Happy. How are you, darling? She says hello. Ooh. What's that? Pumpkins? Oh yeah, because it's nearly your birthday, isn't it? Oh.
Oh yeah. See what that means.
Yeah, look, he means happy. Look.
Yeah, I know what he means.
Missed you on the screen, Budgie and Fuckface is OG.
Oh, I have missed you.
Oh, dear, it's great, isn't it? So we were talking about our new signings, and I agree with you. I think James Ward-Prowse is probably the pick of the bunch. I mean, I've got to be honest, I was one of the ones calling him a one-trick pony, and what can he really do? Blah blah blah. Listen, I've been proven wrong. I'm happy.
It's one of them. With players like Ward-Prowse and even Rice, for that matter.
Yeah.
When we started calling Rice, world class, even though I think we might have been a little bit early with that one, but world class player at West Ham, and how great he was, really going on about him 2 years ago. The likes of the Arsenal fans, he ain't that good. On Newcastle, he ain't that. They don't see him 90 minutes of every game. And the point with Rice is, if all you do is watch Match of the Day, you ain't going to see that many highlights of Rice in a game. You have to watch him for 90 minutes to understand how good he is. G'day, young Lee. And the same with Prowse. you know, we only see what we see on Match of the Day, you know, in the years gone past it, perhaps. But obviously, if you'd asked Southampton fans, they probably would have told you what more he does bring to the table, just a good free kick in the corner. Yeah. And, you know, they know. And now we're starting to find out that he is more than just a free kick taker and a corner taker.
Massively more, massively.
There you go.
Keith says he can hear tweeting sounds. Well, that's because all the local wildlife come out in the mornings when kids are alive.
They like coming into my garden, Keith. I can't control these birdies. They just, I don't really normally hear it because I'm just so used to it. But I have watched things back where, my God, they're loud.
Yeah,
it's like you're
yeah, it's great though. Yeah. Oh, look, Robert's saying, stand to attention, everyone. Lee's in the house.
Lee's in the house, Robert. You know the rules.
Yeah, laughing Lee. Happy. Close. Arsenal fans know he's great, says Janek. It didn't take very long, obviously.
Exactly. Exactly. You look at Arsenal fans now who are doubting him, and now they're all fucking raving about him.
Yeah. I mean, like Janek says, because he's been following West Ham, obviously because of our two Czech friends, Czech mates.
Yeah.
You know, he's been following West Ham quite closely. We've been chatting a lot over the last couple of years or so, and he knows, like he said, he knew how long all that time ago, you know, how good Rice is, you know. It was just a matter of time before the rest of the world got to see it, really, you know. Lee says it's all good, mate. Hey, Cieran, we all want what's best for our club and we'll never judge anyone for their honest opinion. I respect all sorts of the fans. Yeah, come on, Cieran. You know me, he says.
No, Lee brings positivity. You know, when we were bad, really bad. Lee's a bit more positive than some of us. We get caught up in our emotions sometimes with West Ham and Moyes and when it was going bad. But Lee is like the voice of reason.
Yeah. Happy says that's my family out there tweeting in your garden.
Yeah. None of them are Budgie.
None of them are me. I'm here. I'm usually hiding in the tree outside your house, and I miss. You see now, actually, on that, he's been watching Rice alongside the other lads, so he has had a very good idea. Keith says my granddad used to breed budgies. I'm not going to try and say that because it's Latin word, and I'm very useless at that. Nor if he spelt it. Not sure if he
Melopsittacus. Undulatus.
Them ones. Yeah, that's the ones. Yeah, that's all my cousins, and except my dad was there as well. Can I bring up the subject of poor Benny? Christ, I feel for the bloke being chastised like that in front of all the fans. Shouldn't be allowed, in my opinion. No. Happy. You're absolutely right, and I've got to be honest, I did miss that, but I have seen it subsequently. Miss Hamperette is in the house. Hello, Missy. Sorry, can't stop for long and being late. Still busy packing. Yeah, you're moving, aren't you, darling? Yeah.
Are you moving, Missy? Well,
yeah, she's moving from up north.
She coming south?
Yeah, she's coming down to Devon or Cornwall, I believe.
Lovely.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Missy, but I believe it's Devon or Cornwall. One of the others, Missy Treacle. Cheeky. Well, drop the likes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, look, she's even Missy's on it. Look, drop the likes. These are my moderators, you see. Lovely having moderators, especially when they're female, because people tend to say nothing to them. You should save that word for Stel to pronounce. Yeah, next time you see me in the chat with Stel, Keith, you should use that and you say, oh, hello, blah, 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 and it'll be, that word. Charlie Boy's in the house. Charlie Boy, thank you for joining
Charlie Boy.
How are you, CB? Hope you're well. Hope everybody's well over on your side of the pond, mate. Missy says, hi, Julie. What we got up here? Big up, brother Charlie boy. I have to say, I've missed the Premier League. The international break is so boring, absolutely. On that note, Souček scored a penalty for us, actually, and we beat the Faroe Islands. Yeah, that's it. 1-0 in a nervous game. Yeah, see, I mean, we beat Australia in a very nervous game. Very, very nervous game. Didn't you think that?
I didn't really. Be honest, I don't really take much notice of the internationals. Until you get to a tournament, I'm not that bothered because they always turn out to be so boring.
Yeah.
And England bore me to tears watching them. And so we didn't really even have it here. Well, I could have got to watch it, but it was the middle of the night for me anyway, but so I wasn't bothered.
Yeah.
I knew it was a friendly. It didn't really count for nothing, so I just saw the goal that won it, and that's about it. And the few chances Australia had, they could have got something out of the game by the looks of it.
Yeah. So I was right. It's Cornwall that Missy's moving to. Thank you for the confirmation. What's with all the January rumours that he might go in January? Who are we talking about? Souček. Yes, there have been a couple of rumours on a couple of the other channels. I don't really pay much attention to anything until the paperwork's done, mate. I've got to be honest. And like you said earlier on, Cieran, now that we've got Steiden, I think that is probably the best signing we've had because our transfer policy has become brighter, more open. It's one of those. It's one of those scenarios now where we're a lot more along the lines of many of the other clubs now that are very open about their transfer policy, and we seem to be heading that way, which is really nice.
Yeah, I don't think we have to credit Steinem with every signing. I'm sure Ward-Prowse wasn't one of his as well. I'd say that was a Moyes signing.
Yeah, I would.
But he's actively looking, and what I like about him is he goes and gets the deal done himself. We've seen the photos of him coming back on the plane somewhere, so he gets it done. And I have no doubt that boy's looking now, getting up a list of players if we should need them, for replacement. I mean, so
there's a whole host of presenters on the Talk Show. I nearly said it the wrong way then. Talk Sport radio channel and on their website and that. There's a lot of the presenters that are actually looking at the lack of selection for JWP by Southgate. And that they're very surprised and quite put out by it. Some of them. I mean, what's his name now? Andy Goldstein. He wasn't very impressed that they missed him out.
Look, it's all about opinions who should be picked for a squad. One would think that Prowse on form should have been picked. When you look at likes of Phillips and Henderson in there, which is Henderson bemuses me, but this is what you get with a manager. I mean, he picks that squad. It's as simple as that. He'll a lot of managers go with the tried and true that worked for him in the past, and Southgate's one of them. So it is what it is. It's happened to many players in the past, and it will happen in the future. The manager sees it differently. So it's just what it is. I think Southgate, Phillips, not getting a game, any game time for City, but he's still a bloody good player. He is a really good player. He's not getting game time for his team, and I think he does have to move on. I can understand him picking Phillips. Henderson on the other. Henderson, no, he's not the future for an England team. Henderson, he's at the end of his career. I would be looking to play someone else bar Henderson. I think Ward-Prowse is one of them that's got a shout for it. So is Conor Conor Gallagher. So he's the boy Longstaff from Newcastle. But
I mean,
Henderson's been a great player in his time. Don't get me wrong, but you know, at the moment, would you pick him? No. And he's good. He's gone to retire in Saudi as well. That says a lot too. So
yeah.
Plus, he's a hypocrite. You can piss off.
I think you're right about Phillips. He does need to move on, but not to East London. I don't think he's the sort of player that we would want to pick up.
No, for himself. Because, I mean, wherever he moves, I think it's obvious that there was the game against Arsenal where they were missing De Bruyne and Rodri, Man City, and he put Bernardo Silva back in that position rather than use Phillips. And I think that tells you that he's that was the game to play in, and he didn't. So his days are numbered. I think he needs to get out for his own sake.
Yeah. Shenik saying it's 4 a.m. in Vietnam, which is where he is now. Got to go. Might watch some more tomorrow or today, actually. See you soon, mate.
See you later, mate.
Joining us. I'll see you real soon. Don't forget to hit the like button before you leave the room. Thank you, sir. Did you hear the biased commentary, though? Speaking of the attacking talent on the bench for us last night. Grealish, blah, blah. No mention of Bowen. Yeah. And, I also pointed out the other day that when Bowen was playing against Australia and they brought on Calvin Phillips, there was one point where Bowen was completely on his own, out on the wing. He had his arms in the air, screaming for the ball. Phillips had the ball and he turned his back on him. He looked at him and turned his back on him. That's one way of saying you ain't getting the ball, son. You know what I mean? That's not a great attitude in my opinion.
If I picked a team for England tomorrow, Bowen wouldn't be in it. If I picked an England side to take the field tomorrow in a real crucial game, Bowen wouldn't be in.
Bowen wouldn't. No, probably not. No.
I think he deserved to be in that squad, but not in that first team myself. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you've got to be hard pushed to start Bowen or anybody actually at this moment in time in front of Saka out on that right wing.
Yeah,
you're hard pushed to find someone better, and like for England, I hate to say it because he plays for the red side of North London, but it's just one of those things. He is the best English right winger out there right now. Closely followed by our boy, I think, but and also there is this big club syndrome that comes into it. Like Miss Hammerette says, she hates the way, or it irritates how much smoke is poured up Kane's arse. Because he's, but it is true. A cheeky Budgie and CD show. Big. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. Phillips should be nowhere near the pitch for England, in Stuart's opinion. I wouldn't say that. I would just say that there are a couple of players I would play before him. But Phillips does well when he plays in an England shirt. So let's no, it's one of them. The manager will pick who he believes will do the job for him. And I say, do I think Phillips could be in the squad like Bowen? Yeah, but if you've got everyone available, I'm not sure I'd pick him. But the trouble is with what we worry about with Southgate is everyone available. He probably picks Henderson. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with him. He's very similar to David Moyes in that respect.
Very similar.
He's got a handful of players that he'll play.
Yeah.
He likes to play the high press or low press or whatever it is you like to call it. We just call it ultra defensive football, but you know,
he likes. Because at the end of the day, last night, I mean, Phillips should have been sent off.
Yeah, he should.
He should have been sent off. It was crazy he didn't get a second yellow. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Who would choose Southgate over Moyes? Not me. Not me.
I would not, mate. No.
Better the devil you know. Than Moyes. Yeah. I would rather give Moyes another 5-year bloody. I nearly said sentence then.
If that was the choices, Budgie, that was the choices, I'd stick with Moyes. And I don't want Moyes. No. I definitely don't want Southgate either. Jesus Christ.
Well, like I said, the Moyes out banner is currently out for repair.
Yeah, it's in the garage. Yeah. Let's put it this way. I mean, he should have won a trophy, Southgate. He didn't, and he bottled it twice. And Moyes did get to a final, and he didn't, and he got one. And we're European record holders as well. How do you think of that? Sweet.
Yeah. David Moyes is the record-holding manager. So, you know, there's every cloud, mate, every cloud.
Yeah, every cloud, yeah.
Missy says only 6 more likes needed to match the number in the chat. Please drop a like, as it helps with the algorithm.
I can't be asked, Miss Emmerich. Can't be asked.
Well, you're not actually in the chat, so you ain't showing up in there. We've got Kavanagh on VAR on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's something that I do want to talk about in a couple of minutes. And I'd like to encourage the people that are viewing to contribute to this, because how do we think VAR is going? I mean, right, well, we're in our, the beginning of the 3rd season with it now, is it? I think.
Yeah. Tottenham are quite happy with it.
Well, they fucking should be, shouldn't they? Cheeky bastards. I bet they've loved all of the controversial chit chat that's gone with that. That was bloody funny.
No, it's one of them, isn't it? Do you? Yeah. Look, you got to look. Do you like VAR or not? Is it good or not? At times I hate it. I hate it. I'd rather go back to the way it was, but
yeah,
look, it's good for the game in the long run. Do I like it? No, I don't. I'd rather just. The trouble we've got with it is I don't think our referees are good enough. You know, I think there's not enough good referees out there, and you sort of need it. And with that cock up, the Tottenham Liverpool game, it was just a cock up, and I'm glad they released the audio because it shows you how they cocked it up, why they cocked it up.
Yeah,
and explains where the mistake was.
Yeah, but they were following protocol. They were following the rules.
I know. It just shows you, how one mistake can lead to, disaster. But what I do find when I watch rugby union, which I have been a lot lately because the World Cup's going on, they're so professional with what they call TMO, same thing. Yeah. But when them guys speak to the referee and you hear they're just so calm and professional about it and get to the decision. Where when you listen to that audio, the Liverpool Tottenham one, everyone seemed to be panicking about, trying to get the decision right, quick. And, it's just that. Are they capable of doing it? It's just so much more professional in rugby.
Just want to say goodbye or good night to Missy. She's got to get some shut eye. She's got an early start in the morning. Night to everyone. And
see you later, Kate.
An early show back. Thank you very much, Missy. Lovely to see you. Like Robert says here, nothing wrong with VAR. It's the plonkers in the room.
Yes, absolutely, Robert. Absolutely, mate.
They say VAR is fucking shocking, which I agree with. Forget Liverpool suffering.
Yeah.
Every team has suffered.
I agree with that.
Spot on, Duke. Brighton last year against the Spuds had 2 penalties not given, 2 goals disallowed. Awful. Yes, it was. And I remember that game really, really well. And it was bloody awful. Liverpool's first game all came down to interpretation of words said. Yeah, agreed. But, you know, like I said, they were following protocol. They were too late to stop the game once the game was kicked off.
The weird thing is they didn't realise. I can't understand how they didn't realise the on-field decision was a goal. Or no goal. Which one was it? It was a... no, it wasn't. The flag had gone up. They didn't really... How could they not realise it? What are they watching? How did they realise the on-field decision was offside?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was it the other way around? Can't remember. Either way.
Yeah, VAR it's too easy to manipulate the game. That is very true. It is another manipulation method. The standard of refereeing is terrible, says Keith. VAR is not fit for purpose, misused and abused. Yeah. And I'm a retired FA referee, 15 years in. There you go.
There you go.
I remember you saying that you were a referee. You were chatting to Stella about that the other night. Yeah, I mean, see now, you know, this is it. You know, we've got a referee in the chat that can give us a little insight into how a referee views the shocking application of what could be a very valid system. You know, and you know, I've got to be honest with you, VAR is really good for certain stuff, you know, like the Bowen handball in the Fiorentina game, you know, when Bowen was going into the box and a call for a handball, we got the penalty, didn't we? That was Fiorentina, wasn't it? Yes, yeah. You know, sometimes it can really, really work, but other times, obviously, you know.
No, like Keith said there, it's not VAR, the system's the problem, it's the people operating it. Yeah. They're incompetent at times. And that's, like I said, when you refer back to rugby union, they're very competent at it, you know. Yeah. It's simple as that. When they go to a decision to their VAR, they just calm, collected, and get to the decision. And we don't, obviously. Yeah. You know, they look like they're panicking up there to get it right, and don't always. But, yeah. I prefer it if you had really good standards of referees, you wouldn't need VAR. Just use it for the offside. That's it. End of. That's all you need it for.
Yeah.
But we don't.
You know, sometimes, you know, I think VAR does well to assist the referee, like, you know, corner situations and stuff. You know, when they're hustling and bustling in the penalty box, the referee cannot be expected to monitor and see everything that goes on. You know, that sometimes you see players going down in the box and this and that. VAR is that's the time that VAR should intervene. You know, when the referee hasn't seen an infringement of that nature, in my opinion. Let me know what you think on that case. You know, I mean, obviously, like, as you say, you know, as a ref, you must have very, you know.
Yeah, that's what Joe I was getting confused. Yeah, you're right. If you're saying VAR, they thought the on-field decision was right and they got it all wrong. They just didn't know what the on-field decision was. They thought it was the opposite, and they think, wow, how do you make that? But it was funny. And it's nice to see, like I say, we've been stitched up many times over it. We don't go on like Liverpool do. This was just so obviously bad. And they sort of knew they'd cocked up straight away. Yeah. But protocol or not, they should have just stopped the game and said, look, ref, we've cocked up. Mate, give the goal. It's a goal. That's what they should have done. And they didn't. And because they decided to follow protocol. So I think there is a time and a place to break protocol if you've really cocked up. And they did. So, but they didn't have the balls to do it. So,
yeah, Lee's saying VAR is good. It's human error in that case. But maybe it's all a cover-up. Who knows if they recorded it after the fact? But in my opinion, it's all corrupted. Well, I wouldn't go that far myself, but I understand where you're coming from, Lee.
I think it's more incompetence than corruption, to be honest.
Yeah. Helen's in the house. Miss Ludders, good evening.
G'day, Helen. Been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. Everyone's saying hello to everybody again. Charlie says, Mr. Walsh says, I think if we're being honest, we'll always have issues with the way the games are refereed, regardless of who it is and whether VAR is involved. That's just the nature of being a football fan. Yes, to a huge degree, Charlie. But then you see, there are rules set down. There are certain applications of the rules that are open to interpretation, and that's where the problem is. I don't think that being open to interpretation helps the referees very much, because 1 minute he might see a foul that looks completely, career ending to the ref, and he might red card the man, but in the next match that he officiates, he might see a very similar challenge going and only produce a yellow or maybe not produce a card at all. It depends on the time in the game, timing in the game as well. Who wants to cock up early on in the game? Nobody. And referees are reluctant to red card in the first half hour, from what I understand. That's from the interviews and that I've seen from some of the refs. They're reluctant to show a card in the first 30 minutes unless it's absolutely nailed on that it's got to be shown. EPL referees lack courage and definition of the laws. There you go. See, that's more or less confirming what we were just saying there, Cieran.
The biggest, the biggest pain for me is not so much the VAR and not some decisions are subjective to whoever, the referee or VAR, but the handball rule now. That's where they've made a massive cock up with this handball rule. Nobody knows what it is anymore. No. Yeah. It's ridiculous what they've done with that. And all you're seeing week after week is penalty after penalty from handball, where the guy just trying to defend and it's hitting his arm. It's madness.
And the rule was, regardless of position of the arm,
crazy.
If the arm was moved towards the ball, then it was given a handball.
I've never seen so many penalties given for handball. And now, what's pissing me off even more, all the professional players out there, every time it hits someone, don't matter if it hits him in the head, in the shoulder, or knee, they're calling for handball. It just gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
But that's because they changed the rule. It used to be intentional handball. Now it's not. And it's really is. They've got to revisit that and change. Get some kind of, normality to it. It's madness. It's madness.
Sharky saying that the officials using the VAR technology are incompetent. I don't understand how they can be so bad at times. Yeah.
Anyway.
Human error. Human error.
We'll be fucking whinging about it in 10 years' time. And it's still the same.
Yeah. We've had instances where VAR should have been used and it hasn't been, and lost out on penalties, etc. Very true. Very true. And, being, devil's advocate, we're not the only team that have suffered and VAR. We just tend to focus on when it affects us more. But, there are instances where, we've had decisions go our way that, if it had been on the other foot, we would have been going, VAR are incompetent. So, it does go with swings and roundabouts, but, it does tend to favour the greedy six more often than not, So,
well, it didn't favour Liverpool that night.
Duke saying something that I said right at the beginning.
So did I. I think anyone's a football fan, like Jukey said there, as we did, is there should have been ex-players in that VAR. especially for the subjective decisions, the interpretation of whether that's a foul or not. Players know. Players know someone's, going down pretending to be hurt, whether the tackle was malicious, whether it's a sending off offence. Players know. And, I think they should have been in there. But there you go. It's a job for the boys, isn't it? The VAR room.
Yeah.
If you're a referee now, you don't just stop when you finish refereeing. You can pop into the VAR room and get another career for 10 years, making a cock up of it. You can fuck it up in the VAR room instead of on the pitch.
Yeah. Happy saying there's a video doing the rounds 14 years ago today when Liverpool conceded the goal from the deflection of the beach ball. Funny I was actually watching earlier on. I was watching the live stream of Talkshow, and Darren Bent was on there. It was him that took the shot, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, brilliant.
And he said, I'll take that all day long, even now. Even now, I would take that all day long. I can't say I blame him. It weren't his fault the ball was in the way. Keith says VAR was introduced to reduce the mistakes of the on-field refs, but the VAR officials are the very same refs who were shit to start with.
Exactly.
VAR was introduced.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Why VAR is flawed, because they're using the same shit referees, that were making shit on-field decisions, and there it is. There it is.
I'll flip that a little bit though as well.
Yeah.
The abuse that in recent years that the referees get as well from managers, from players on the pitch is disgraceful. Right? They've been pressured into making mistakes because of them players. Man United were always good at it, weren't they? Hounding the referee, crowding him. Liverpool used to do it. And this is the problem. There's such a lack of respect from them players to referees. Another thing that you don't see in rugby union, you won't see that, or you'll be off that pitch, mate. They have respect for their referees. We don't. And the pressure since the Premier League has got bigger and bigger on them referees, even the good ones on their pitches, basically forces them into making mistakes because they're under that much pressure from players and managers.
Yeah.
And so I do have a little bit of sympathy for some of the referees out
there. Yeah. Keith, it also says we need to have the conversation with VAR and the on-field officials over the stadium tannoy. Yeah, like they do in rugby, like they do in most other sports.
Yeah, but the difference is, mate, when that referee is on the mic in rugby, he hasn't got players on next to him calling him "fuck you" and "fuck this" and "you're a fucking joke." Right? That's going to be picked up on that mic. Right? You won't get that in rugby, but you will in football.
Yeah. Lee said, I could have worded it better. Sorry. What Sharky said, I think, is what I meant. I just go off on one. Sorry, lads. No, wait, Sharky. It's all good, man. That's what it's all about. It's all about opinions. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. Happy says, trying to get my head around Geo's stream about the extra European places possible this season. Am I right in thinking it's just the Super League in the Prem? I have no idea. I didn't even see that.
I'll say about that. There's a possibility this year, Budge, that the 8th spot will be a European place. Depends on who wins what.
Yeah.
The 8th spot could be a European place, which, no reason why we couldn't finish 8th. Maybe. So.
Right. Up until last season, the handball law was in 2 parts, where in some cases it is a handball and in others it isn't. How the fuck can that be clear?
It can't be clear. It's more unclear than it's ever been now.
if anybody is going to support the referees and the decision-making process and VAR and that, it's going to be an ex-referee at least, or a current referee. And Keith is an ex-referee, and he's not being very favourable towards the VAR system. And I can understand why. I suppose it must be frustrating. You put all that time in, all them years in, taking the abuse from every Tom, Dick and Harry that thinks they're like Saint Special on the pitch. You know, I'm one of them people that did it. I used to badmouth the referees all the time when I was playing. You know, and not like, you know, it's not until afterwards that you have to actually sort of take a look and go, you know, them poor bastards. Like at grassroots level, they don't even get paid for it.
No.
And you know, they pull that kit on, knowing they're going to be under.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the culture. The culture's the issue. Yeah. You know, that it's okay to abuse a referee. It's not. Stop it. You know, and when you've got professionals in the Premier League doing it, well, there's the example for everyone else. All the younger kids, they'll do the same. You've got to stop, and it won't stop until clubs make an effort for their players to stop doing it. You know, but we need to be produced. You're not producing referees because you've got to put up with that. A lot of them are leaving the game because of that abuse. So, what do you want?
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
And what Juki just said about the offside, it should be addressed. The way they've changed the law, the offside now, that, you know, your shoulder can be offside and these lines. Even though my suggestion has always been, just worry about the feet. If your feet are onside and you're leaning offside, that's not offside to me. If your feet are onside, it should be onside. I think that's how they should have started it, and it's not now. You can have both your feet onside, yet your shoulders given offside. I think that's crazy. There'd still be line drawing with the feet, but it'd be so much less of it. It'd be so much clearer if you're just worried about where their feet are. If your feet are onside, you're onside. I think that's how it should have started. And it's not.
Bowen at the beginning of the season, he was ruled offside for pointing to where he wanted the ball. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And every team can point to this. Every team has got one of these that's happened in the game. Every team in the league. And it's, you know, I mean, this isn't changing anything, just making that rule change. It'll be the same for everyone. If your feet are onside, it's so much clearer. And when you played football, you know, which I did up to I was 43, the offside was that. If your feet were behind that defender, you were okay. You knew you could go. Right? That's now. You can't even lean forward to get a start on your run. It's in case your shoulder's offside. Doesn't make sense. And when I was defending, I knew when the guy was in front of me and behind me. Now I don't. If I was doing it now, I'd be lined up and just step a little bit, you know, to get him offside. But I knew I had to get his feet in front, you know, behind me to get that decision. Now, man, I don't know where it is. I really don't. It's crazy.
Yeah. So happy saying, right? So there's going to be 5 places for Champions League. Then, if an English Europa Cup winner, that could be 6 teams in the league, and then cup winners in the Europa and the Conference.
Oh,
it's hard to understand, but it looks like it could be half the league getting European football. Yeah.
Too complicated.
It is far too complicated. Used to be clear daylight between the two players. Get back to that. End of. Agreed. Yeah. Duke, get yourself down to the FA. Sign yourself up, mate. Start making the rules because you're talking sense, son. Happy. It's partly due to the changes UEFA made to try and keep the Super League clubs happy, says Charlie Walsh. Bongo says, I don't know if Keith will agree or not, but in my opinion, referee took a downward turn when the worst, most laughable ref, Mike Riley, retired and was made chief. Mike Riley. Right. Mike Dean used to be the villain for me. It's only going to get worse as well, but yeah, it means we get more European football, so I'm not complaining. No, I wouldn't be either, Charlie, I've got to be honest. Happy says, yeah, I got that bit about the extra spot for Champions League, but how is it supposed to be competitive? Well, of course it's competitive. You're still playing against other teams from Europe, and we don't play them on a regular basis, so you know that makes it competitive. You know, you're playing up against the unknown, and the unknown is always good competition. Keith says, I mean, I'm a Cockney lad with a skinhead and missing front teeth, so I had no crap in my games because I looked like so fucking horrible. I always played a fair game. Cards didn't control games. No, and that's the point. You know, a decent referee, a good referee, can officiate a game, even a game that's a little bit naughty. They can do that just by, you know, using the right phrases, the right words in the right moment, you know, without producing cards and stuff, you know. But, you know, I think also on the other side of that coin, the cards are a very useful tool for the referees because there is a certain amount of deterrent in, you know, like chatting back and all that sort of stuff, you know, dissent and stuff. So, you know, they've always been a deterrent. They should never be first choice, you know, reaction, in my opinion. European football never has been. Rich get richer in it. True, that is very true. Peter Banks is the worst referee in England, says Stuart. I'm sorry for Ben Rama, way the Algerian manager collared him. Yeah, I didn't see it, Helen, and Happy mentioned earlier on.
I see the photos of it, and the guy grabbing him by the throat. You know, because he took him off, and I don't know whether Ben Rama ignored him, but he grabbed him by the collar.
Oh, yeah, he didn't shake his hand or something, did he?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, mate, if I was Moyes, mate, I'd be on the phone to that geezer, giving it to him. That's a disgusting way to treat one of our players. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of Ben Rama, so. But I wouldn't let that happen to him if I was his manager either. I'll be on the phone.
Yeah, and that's another point as well. Happy says, you know, she's annoyed about it. What sort of mind frame will Benny be in when he gets back?
It's disgusting to behave like that. As an international manager, to treat a player like that. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah. Charlie says, it's also because English teams have been so dominant. City and us winning trophies hasn't helped. Yeah, I mean, you know, Italy, you could also say were quite dominant in all the finals. They had a team in each of the European finals this year. Unfortunately, they didn't win any of them, but Italians had a team in every one of the three finals. So, you know, let's acknowledge that because that's a great achievement. You know, we were second with 2. And then obviously Sevilla won the Europa again. Real winners of that. And do you know who stopped them from winning it the last time? Us.
We did.
Yeah, we did. James Bond says, Duke, that's exactly what I've been saying since VAR came in. It would work much better now. Okay, yeah. What was it Duke said then? Okay. Where is it? No, not that one. Maybe I missed one of his comments. Yeah.
No, I think he's on about the clear daylight. Like I said myself, I wouldn't go back to that rule. I would go back to the feet because the clear daylight will be the same. You'll end up with lines trying to work out whether the guy's arm it's just past the defender or not, it end up being the same with VAR involved. If you just do it by their feet, I just think it's so much simpler. Are their feet onside or are they not? If one of them's offside, that's offside. If they're both onside, they're onside. I just think that would work easier. With VAR being involved, that is.
Yeah. Happy says City and us winning trophies. Now that's a sentence I never thought I'd get.
No, now that we're European record holders, do you know? I was told, I presume it's true.
Yeah.
That we took that title off Tottenham and Leeds. They were on 16.
Yeah, correct.
Unbeaten.
Yeah,
and we've got 17.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Something else we've taken off Tottenham.
Yeah, it's lovely. That's really nice.
Brilliant. I love it. Charlie says it's absolutely wild. Found myself talking about the possibility of winning another one this season. I had to check myself. Well, Charlie, I mean, we've all had that conversation with ourselves. I think, can we do it again this year?
Can we? It's tougher.
Well, we look at it now. Let's look at it. Clearly. 2 seasons ago, we were in the semi-final of the Europa League, beaten by the eventual winners of the competition, and we knocked out the serial winners of that competition. So we've done extremely well to get to the semi-final and to be beaten by the winners of the competition.
We're beaten by a better team.
Yeah, we were.
The difference is last year, Budge, and I weren't being cocky. I thought we should have won it. I believed going into that with the teams that we had to face, we should win it. The only game I weren't 100% sure of was the final, because it is a final and anything can happen in the final. And they probably were the best team we faced. So I didn't see why we shouldn't win that Conference League. I thought we should, and we did. Europa League's different. When you look at the talents that's in there, some of the teams are good. When you get past the group stages, plus what you might have dropping down from the Champions League. That's a tougher ask. It's a much tougher ask. But I had no doubt that we were going to win that Conference League up to the final, or get to the final anyway. And I was confident we're getting to that final. And then it's all about on the day when you get to a final. But I don't feel that confident here about the Europa League, because there are a lot of good sides in it.
Well, Liverpool and Brighton being 2 of them.
Exactly.
Historically, we struggle against both of them. Although recently we've had a couple of decent results.
We might not meet them. Who knows? We might not meet them. I don't know. But,
you never know.
But there's a lot of other good teams in it too. And so it's a lot tougher to win. So I'm not that confident about winning it. That's all. I'd like to think we could. We can get to a semi-final, mate. We can get to a final.
Yeah, I think if we can get to the final, I think it's ours. I think, because the way we set up, and I've watched that video that West Ham released on their own YouTube channel called Massive. Everybody's watched it, I'm sure. And it follows our Conference League winning campaign. And, in that, it's that they say that, the way we were set up, there weren't many teams out there that could break us down, that could get through our lines. We defended really well. I mean, to go through an entire cup competition like that, unbeaten.
It's great.
And with only 1 draw in that 17 games, 1 draw. It's incredible. It's a feat that I didn't ever think that we would achieve as a club. It's fantastic. I'm really, really, really proud of the club. The thing is, it's not an offence to be in an offside position. It's only when the player becomes active and that is such a grey area. Yeah,
it is.
You know, is a player standing in front of the keeper, not actually moving towards the ball?
Yeah,
is
of course
he
it
an
is.
active player?
But it has to be a grey area, because before the rule many years ago, if you were standing out on the wing, had nothing to do with anything, and you were offside when the ball was played forward, you were given offside. Now you don't want that either.
No.
So you have to go with this, you know, being active. You have to, otherwise, you know, a guy standing out in the wing just coming back from making, he's offside, and it's not. It's nothing to do with the game, and it'll just keep stopping the game. So I think you have to. There has to be certain interpretations of whether a guy's active or not. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Happy, you are such a pessimist. Paqueta leaving is going to leave such a bigger hole in our team than Rice did, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it would, because he is such a talented flair player.
He's entertaining. This is the thing. He's entertainment plus.
Yeah.
Mate, he's frustrating at times too, Paqueta. He isn't the be-all and end-all, doesn't do anything wrong. He does. He loses the ball when he shouldn't. He makes, you know, he tries to do tricks that don't always come off. But I forgive him all that when I see what he can do with the ball, and them little bits of brilliance that bring a smile to my face. I'm having it. I am having him all day long. And this is when I've seen the little bits of kudos come on. I'm having him. I don't care if he's shit here and there and he gives the ball away. I don't care. I want to see that excitement. This is why I don't want Moyes, you know, because he's normally he's not one for that. I'd imagine Paqueta drives Moyes absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. But you got to take the good with the bad with him. And when he's good, mate, it's just fantastic. It's just a wonderful player to watch.
It's incredible. Happy asked, who thinks the club is going to extend Moyes for another year come January?
More than likely.
I would imagine that most of us would say yes, but most of us would want the answer to be no. Would you take winning the Europa and giving Moyes a 3-year deal? Yeah, I would. I actually would take that. Give Moyes a 3-year deal.
I'm torn.
Ensure that we're going to win the Europa. Definitely. That puts us in the Champions League. And then David Moyes will be the only manager to take a team through all 3 major European competitions and playing in all 3. He would be the only manager to do that I'm aware of, anyway. Can't think of anyone else that's done it.
Can't we win the Europa League and sack him as well? Is that an option at the age?
I know other managers have won. Actually,
that'd be hard, wouldn't it? That would be hard.
The only other manager that has won all 3 would be Mourinho, because he won it with Roma in the first year of its conception.
He did,
and he's won the Europa with Chelsea, and he's won the Champions League with Chelsea and other clubs. So, but not with the same team.
I think we're looking a little bit beyond ourselves here, like winning the Europa League, then the Champions League.
No, we're gonna win them both. We're gonna be.
Mate, you're sounding like fucking Peach now. You're sticking trophies on the board. We've not even got out of the group stage yet.
Behind me, whispering in my ear. Look.
Yeah.
I'd take 3 years now. HH says James.
I know. I just think with the introduction of Steinen, I think that's a major coup for us. And I'd like to look forward. 'Cause eventually we're getting a new manager, whether it be, in the end of this year or a couple of years' time. I just hope we're looking at, what's our progression now? If we're bringing in players like Kudos and Paqueta, what's our next step with a manager? Now, the trouble is, I wanted Moyes out so badly last year, but there was only one. There's only one manager for me that I wanted in. There was one, and I've been banging on about this guy for 10 years, not just since that lot. Where did he go? Where did he fucking go? He went to Tottenham.
Tottenham, yeah. I mean,
I was gutted.
wanted to talk to you about him because we spoke about him probably best part of 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
First time I remember you and I having this chat about this guy. And you convinced me that he would be a manager to build on a club. You know, that he'll take the foundations and build upwards from it. And I have begun to see that happening now in the White Side of North London.
Yeah.
And, you know, more power to him because he's doing a fantastic job with them. Let's be honest. He's got them currently at the top of the league. I know we're only 8 games in, but since when have Tottenham ever been top of the league 8 games in? You know, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, does it? You know, so fair play to Mr. Postecoglou. I think he's proving to be the manager that you claimed that he was 3 years ago, Cieran.
See, because I'm no oracle on picking a good manager, right? But lucky enough being in Australia, I've watched him for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And before the A-League was even concepted, I think he was with South Melbourne. He won the league with them. It was the National League then. My mate used to play in the Brisbane side.
Yeah.
He won the league twice with them. And then when the A-League got formed, he came to Brisbane. And it took him 2 years, but he won the A-League with Brisbane, which was an amazing feat and good attacking football. So I'm being saying that. I was saying it back then to West Ham supporters. Look, this boy here, Ange Potter, who's he? Who's he? Nobody knows. I know you don't know him. I'm telling you, this boy could do a job. It's only the A-League. Right. So then he takes over the national team here in Australia, gets them to 2 World Cup finals. He plays the what we call here the Asian Cup, which is the equivalent of the Euros back there, Budge, right? And the first time ever, Australia win it. And then he leaves the national side. He goes to Japan with Yokohama, takes them over, and he wins the league there. And then all of a sudden he gets picked. And I'm screaming now, please, somebody recognise this guy can do it. Oh, it's only the Japanese league. Oh, for fuck's sake. Then he goes to Celtic, right? And then the Scottish supporters going, oh, who the fuck's this? You remember the famous thing of Alan Brazil on TalkSport? Go, oh, no, he was complete. Who is this? And Ange Postecoglou, mate. You know, and I'm screaming now when he's gone to Celtic. I said, we've missed the chance here. This is well before Moyes turned up at West Ham.
Yeah.
And then he wins 5 trophies out of 6 at Celtic. Yeah. And sooner or later, someone had to recognise and take a punt. And it is a punt because he's not done it in the highest leagues in the world. Now Tottenham took a punt, and it's not about where they are in the league because they're not going to be winning the league this year. It's not about that. No. What it is Tottenham supporters for the first time are enjoying what they're seeing.
Yeah,
they're enjoying the games. Listen to them; they're freaking out.
The team are turning up for every game with intent now.
Yeah,
you know, and it's it's good for Tottenham fans. You know, I'm happy that they're happy. You know, one of my best pals is a Tottenham fan, and we chat quite a lot. And he said to me, Clive, basically, what is it about Postecoglou that you like? And I said, well, put it this way. I said, my pal Cieran been banging his drum for a couple of years or more. I said, and I can start seeing now what he was talking about. I said, I'll tell you what it is that makes him so good. Is Tottenham have actually done a complete U-turn. Instead of going for the big name managers that have won everything, that want their name called at top of everybody's voices, they've gone for an unknown. They've gone back to basics, basically. And that's what I said to him. Tottenham have gone back to basics, and that's why you're being successful. I said, you're going to have a little spell of being successful in this league at the moment. I said, it ain't going to last. He went, well, what makes you say that? I said, because of clubs like Man City and Liverpool that have been there and done it many, many times. And, you know, and they've taken titles and silverware many, many times. I said, you know, it's been a long time since Tottenham lifted a trophy, unless you count the Audi Cup, you know. And he sort of half sniggered, but he had to agree. And then when we were talking about Postecoglou, I said to him, you know, the man takes everything back to basics. I said, you know, if you can't stand up straight in the morning, forget training. He ain't going to have you on his training field. You know, if you're struggling with a bit of a, you know, hangover from the night before, you might as well not bother turning up, because he's going to fucking rip into you.
But if you ever listen to Big Ange, mate, when you hear him, and I've been hearing it for a lot of years, he's
one of the
believes there is a way of playing football that involves entertainment. He believes in that. It should be played a certain way. And that's why I always knew it'd be perfect for West Ham supporters, especially at our age, where we're brought up and trying to entertain the fans. The football, we didn't always win, but we had entertaining football to watch, you know, with the likes of Devonshire and Brooking and all these players, and even Bonds and Bobby Moore. It was trying to be entertaining. Sometimes we were shit, but we did try to be entertaining. Now, he does the same. He's just more successful at it. When you think of everywhere he's been, he's won a trophy or something. Yeah. Everywhere. Yeah. Well, I believe he will put a trophy on the board for Tottenham if they stick with him and follow what he wants. If he wants Ivan Toney in January, they should go out and buy him. That's what they should do, because they're lacking an out-and-out striker now with Kane leaving. Yeah, that's what Tottenham should do. If they really, Toney would be a great addition to that. You remember, he's only been there 10 minutes, Postecoglou. He's only there 10 minutes. I think he's signed 3 players. That team is not his yet. Nowhere near his. He's going to need a couple of years. Yeah. But I believe he'll stick a trophy on the board, whatever it may be, Carabao Cup or whatever. I think he'll get them that trophy. Yeah. Because he's done it everywhere else, you know. So
happy saying Alvarez got booked tonight. So,
good lad.
Sharky comes in and says Alvarez has got more cards than Hallmark.
He's not bad, is he? Come on, put it in that quick.
He loves the card, doesn't he? He loves the card. That shows that he's trying, mate, in my opinion. I ain't going to knock the man for getting himself carded. Haven't we got Emerson, Paqueta and Alvarez all on their final bookings against Villa? Playing Toffees next week will be...
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. They've already won the Tiger Cup. What more do they want? Yeah, they won the Audi Cup as well, you know. That prestigious piece of silverware. Yeah. Well, we've been running for an hour and 15 minutes. It's been brilliant chatting with you. But I think it's probably time we should wind down. We'll definitely get and do some more stuff, Cieran. Definitely. We'll have a little bit more structure to the next one. Well, I just needed to get back on screen, mate. I just wanted to get back on screen, get chatting with you, get back into the flow of it. You know, it's been too long. It's been a long time coming. So but so I'm back on Saturday morning, everybody, at 10 a.m. With another edition of the In Crowd, and this time round it's Nicola Caton. I'm sure we all know who she is. This is going to be a bit of a difficult one for me, I think, because of the emotions that are going to be involved in the interview. But I'm really looking forward to it. Nikki's a lovely girl, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with her. So don't forget to set yourself a time, an alarm for Saturday morning, boys and girls, or hit the notification on the video. You'll find it on YouTube. It's quite easy to find. It's been great being on screen again. Been great chatting with you again, Cieran. We'll do this again very soon. And hopefully we'll get the Old School Hammers back on as well on a Wednesday night. That's why I chose tonight to do this one, so we can set ourselves a little target for Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll see how we go with that. I reckon we can manage it.
I think so, mate.
I've got to do it same time. Tomorrow night, I've just got a message from Stewie on disabled team, so I'm going to pop on and have a chat with him tomorrow night. Him and young Lee and Titch probably.
Yeah.
About the same time.
Well, you know me, I'll probably pop up in the chat anyway.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see Lee smiling and winding him up about how massive we are, and how Lee's in the championship and Stewie.
His whole top half moves with each other.
Yeah, it makes my day when I see him start laughing. So
yeah. Duke says it's been great to have you both back. Well, thank you, Duke. It's been lovely being back. Much appreciated. Great to see the old fellas back. Thanks, peeps. Thank you as well. Happy for doing your moderating and stuff. I know on my channel it's not exactly difficult, but thank you for doing it. I love the fact that you do that for me. And of course I have got other moderators as well. Just can't remember who they all are. I think I've got 3 or 4. That's going to be a very moving show, says Duke. It will be, mate. And I'm obviously going to be as gentle as I can. What's that?
Someone's alarm went up, huh? Car alarm.
Yeah.
I never nicked it, mate. Wasn't he me, mister?
Good night to everybody. Good to see you, lads. Thank you, Sharky. Bless you for popping in, sir. Great show, lads. Cheers all. Thank you, Charlie. Mr. Walsh, lovely to see you. It was also lovely to see Charlie Boy and Lee. Great to see you as well, sir. Thanks, lads. You put a smile on my face. Great.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
Be safe, be lucky, and come on, you irons. We're all massive over there and see. We are indeed. It's me. Yeah, Mr. Bong, thank you, Mr. Bong, for popping in.
James E.
Jake says he loves you. Happy. Helen, thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure to see you, my love. Great to have you two back chatting and everyone else. Come on, you irons. That's about it, really. Stewie, thank you for coming in, sir.
Yeah, see you more, Stu.
I will definitely pop in and see you in your chat tomorrow, Stu. Thank you very much. Keith, thank you. Top show, guys. Love and peace as always. Thank you, Keith. And, I know you get plenty of offers to pop in and have a chat about refereeing, but...
yeah. Bloody refs. Bloody refs.
If you would like to do that, I'm sure that any of the guys that have offered you will give you the time, and I would also give you the time as well on my channel. So, there's plenty of options open to you there, Keith. Great show. Cieran, thank you for joining me, mate.
You're welcome.
Just a quick a non-update on the stone in Champions Way for Peach. Haven't heard any more about that as yet, but now that this comment that's on the screen just reminded me of it, I'm going to chase that up. I'm going to see if we can get some news on that. Night all champions of Europe. We know we are Irons. We know we are the champions of Europe. Get those thumbs up, guys, before you go, please. Thank you, Helen. Thank you for saying that, and be more than happy to call us all mate. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Well, I'll wear a West Ham shirt. If you come and wear a referee's top, that'd be great.
I actually, when I was playing a game once, I had an injury, right? And the referee only one linesman turned up, and it was our team. And I thought, I'll jump in, I'll do the line, no problem, because he was down one linesman. So I was doing it, and my mate was up front, right? I was at the end, and he was offside by about 2 feet. And I put the fucking flag up. He abused the shit out of me. Right, my mate, this is what you got. I'm his best mate, and he's calling me all the wankers under the sun because I fucking ruled him offside. I said, but you were offside. Bollocks, you don't know where you take that fucking flag off him. What? That shows you, right, the level of abuse that referees get and linesmen when your mate's doing it to you. Yeah. So, yeah, I do feel for any referee team. I do have that sympathy for some.
I do.
But at the time, when they do get it wrong, you don't. So
yeah, but without them, this beautiful game would cease to exist.
Exactly.
So, you know, we need more referees. We need more officials.
We need some bloody good ones. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what. And you know, all this talk about them flying over to Saudi and then coming back and officiating here and that. I wouldn't have thought that was allowed. I mean, I was under the impression that once you were an official for a sporting organisation, that was the organisation you officiate for. You don't go and officiate for what is effectively an up-and-coming Sunday league.
Yeah, you know? It's interesting debate.
I would like to know what the legalities are about that.
I suppose they're earning a living, but I suppose you can't stop them going elsewhere to earn a living. I don't know how it works.
I suppose not. But when they're coming back here and they're making shit decisions because they're jet lagged and that, surely they've got to do something about it.
If you put it down to that, maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do some digging on that, and on the next Bert and Ernie show, we'll really rip into the boys in black. Hey, give them loads of shit. All right, okay, that's another topic. That's another topic we've got. RF's allowed to bet. Oh,
no, they're not.
I wouldn't.
Anyone, I do know something about that anyone involved in football, it doesn't matter if you're even the tea lady at the bloody club, I don't think they're allowed to bet either. No one is.
Right. Keith is saying, he's clarifying it, that they're not allowed to bet on games that they have any interest or conflict in. Right. So basically, Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a referee. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you're a Premier League referee and you're a West Ham fan, but you're officiating against Man United, Liverpool. You're not allowed to bet on the West Ham game. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to bet.
How does that work? Let me know. I'll wait for your comment to come up. Yeah, that's quite an interesting subject. I think we'll definitely have to get into the refereeing, the legalities of what they can and can't do. That's quite an interesting subject for me, mate.
I was pretty sure they were not allowed to bet on anything involved with football. Anyone at the club, I'm sure any club, that every employee is not allowed to be betting on, but I could be wrong. Who knows with these rules? They change every bloody week, don't they, and every year. You know?
Yeah. Right, well, there's no comment forthcoming yet. I would imagine.
All right.
Give him a minute or so. So, well, let's do something again in the near future, Cieran. You're busy tomorrow. Friday, I'm probably not going to be available. Saturday, I'm doing that thing with Nicola.
We'll see next week. I have to pop on with Titch. We're doing this review show with Titch at some stage, but that's after the weekend's games. I'll do that. But we'll work something out. We'll worry about it.
All right. Okay. So Keith is saying that betting on our league's games or any football would be a big fat nope. Yeah. So you're right, Cieran. They can't bet on football. No. That's interesting. Well, like I said, that's a subject for another day. Let me just quickly see if I can.
It's a bit ironic, isn't it, and hypocritical that we're allowed to use. We can put betting companies on our shirts, but we're not allowed to do it because it's wrong.
Right, Keith. So I use Twitter, That's my Twitter handle there, @BudgieUncaged. Give me a message on that if you want to do anything, if you want to come on and have a chat with me about refereeing. I know, as I said, I know other people have asked you, so if you want to, fulfill those commitments first, I'm happy for you to do that. But just let me know. And you can also contact me at, let me put that in the chat, actually. Comments. Right, let me just put my...
It's speed typing, is it?
Fucking hell, I wish I could. Right, that is my email address. So you can contact me on that as well. If you want to do anything, Keith, or anyone who wants to come on, I've got loads of spaces to do the in crowd and lots of energy and enthusiasm to do it. So yeah, Keith, thank you very much. Says he's happy to come on. Please contact me via that email. We'll exchange WhatsApp numbers and I'll get you in. Definitely. Cieran, that is spot, my friend. Betting company sponsors, no.
Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't be sponsors. They shouldn't be.
Yeah. No, they shouldn't be. Anyway, right, guys, girls, thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for your time, Cieran. Thank you everybody in the chat for your time. I look forward to seeing you in the near future, Keith. That would be great. Everybody, once again, thank you. Please don't forget to click the like on your way out if you haven't already. Is that email address right, Budgie? Yes, it is. And the E is deliberate. It's ELETES because I couldn't get it with ELITES. It was already taken somehow. Anyway, yes, so that is the correct email address. Keith says, Budgie or I will definitely come on. Yeah, brilliant. That'd be great. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to find the little video to play us out, which is there. And we will see you very, very soon. Take care. Come on, you irons.
All the best, boys. See you later. And like.